General Motors Canada has plans to go deep on electric vehicles. With its U.S. parent, it aims to lead in the space. Now, a new supply deal for battery-grade nickel from Quebec's Vale will help it secure the supply it needs to get there. Marissa West is Managing Director of GM Canada. Thanks for being with us.
Pleasure to be here.
So let's start with the supply deal. We have this sense of urgency, I think, in the world around getting our hands on the minerals and materials you need for clean tech, green tech. How important is this nickel deal to you?
Yeah, it's incredibly important. It really is fundamental to creating an end-to-end supply chain for the electric vehicles in North America. So we're really happy to have made that announcement yesterday, and it's the first of its kind here to service our POSCO joint venture, which was announced earlier. So it's a huge step for us.
And of course, this is part of some ambitious plans, Marissa, to bring electric to Canada. Canada itself has ambitious targets about what it wants on the roads. What do you see as the biggest hurdles between the goal and actually getting there?
Yeah, I really like to think of mass customer adoption. The things that need to be in place is kind of a three-legged stool. The first leg is having the product that customers want to have that's really capable to suit their needs, and that's key. It's what we're introducing is with really a multi-brand, multi-segment, multi-price point strategy to bring those products to our customers. The second really important leg is the robustness of the charging network and the grid, so that our customers have the confidence that when they do purchase their electric vehicles, they're going to be able to continue their lifestyle as they want without any of that, friction with charging concerns. And then the third leg is the affordability, and really, I think we're going to solve that by continuing to focus on innovation. We have, a ways to go to innovate both within the battery chemistry, the software that is going to manage the battery, and really optimize that so we do establish and achieve the cost parity with the battery propulsion system that we have today with our ICE internal combustion engine systems.
There are some you've described some big infrastructure challenges there. I know General Motors has some innovative solutions around using dealerships as charging locations. But to get from here to there, and this is for Canada-wide, not just your company, but your company wants to play a big role. Will we get there in the timeline that's been outlined? It's not that far away that this country wants all electric on the road.
Yeah, it's certainly a steep hill to climb, and truthfully, while General Motors has great solutions, we're partnering, as you mentioned, with our dealers to do more than charging at just our dealers, but really within our communities. So the distributed nature of our dealers is really pivotal to that. But beyond that, we do need to address, what we like to think of as the road trip charging infrastructure across the entire country. And I think that's going to depend on partnerships within business and also partnerships within the government, because we have a significant way to go. And with the EV adoption goals and the tendency we're seeing from our customers to want to buy them, we need to do it sooner rather than later. So sense of urgency is certainly key.
Not a ton of time, but on affordability, will GM have a suite of products that people will be able to afford, even as you price in some of the innovation we still have to get through?
Absolutely. So you may have seen recently we announced the Equinox EV. It's going to come in at a very affordable price point. We have the Bolt EV available today. Again, a long-range electric vehicle with a very affordable price point. So the answer to your question is yes. And
even quicker, is all of this representative of a continued commitment to building cars in Canada? Can people who work in the industry and want it to stay take this as a sign of optimism?
Absolutely. I mean, you've seen us invest in manufacturing across the country recently, and we're really excited. By the end of the year, we're going to reopen CAMI, which will be the first full-scale electric vehicle plant in Canada. And there's, a lot more to come. So, yes, absolutely.
Marissa, great to have you. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Marissa West is President and Managing Director of General Motors Canada. Time for the takeaway and a critical path forward. When it comes to technologies of the future, including electric vehicles or even basic electronics, Canada, it seems, is sitting pretty. Turns out a vast amount of the resources needed for these technologies are buried under our feet. In fact, Canada is already a serious producer of what have been deemed critical minerals, things like copper, aluminum, nickel, and zinc. But next generation clean tech will rely not just on those, but on a new cast of characters that have yet to be fully developed. For now, China owns the global market for some of the materials needed in modern technology. The communist nation controls 80% of what are known as rare earth minerals. That chokehold may be partly why other nations are now intent on ensuring that the supply of minerals needed for clean technologies is developed in more friendly or at least predictable places. Enter Canada, which has talked a big game about being a big player in this space, but there's a big gap between our ambition and shovels in the ground. Recently, the Canadian government updated its rules about ownership in mines looking to develop these minerals and booted China out of 3 junior mining companies. Now the U.S. government wants to help us out by investing in the space. Given how much money will be required to develop new mines for minerals we aren't yet producing, that was seen as welcome news. But Canada should be a bit cautious here. We're sitting on a resource, or more accurately, dozens of resources that may define wealth and prosperity in the coming century. Why not make sure we aren't just a raw material extractor, but that we also have a plan to use those resources? It's a shift in thinking from hundreds of years of exporting our raw materials to other nations, only to buy back the finished product they make with it. But it is a shift worth making now. My takeaway, the good news is Canada knows a thing or two about mining. Now it's up to us to make sure we don't give up the real prize. That's Taking Stock for this week. I'm Amanda Lang. Thanks for being with us.